All right. What is this? I did already tweet. Not tweeted? Okay. Mm. All right. Let's go. Tweet that shit out. Stuff from you, Lucky. Bro, I got pages, dude. I got pages right here. Okay. I'm gonna go over everything I've learned. I've been taking notes, dude. We'll have those duels. We'll have our little duel session, whatever, refrag session. And afterwards, I'll just be like, just chilling on my bed, just thinking about this stuff, and just like taking notes and just tweaking, constantly tweaking, man. And I've got notes of everything I've learned so far for over the past couple months of just like transferring over Kovacs aim into in-game aim, and just how to win duels and stuff. So I got notes, man. I got notes. I don't know. Not many people talk about like transferring over your aim into CS aim, and I've got a lot of neat tricks. I do kind of want to organize this. Not gonna lie. I just like started writing out notes. Let me. I came with the papers, dude. I got double-sided 3 pages. Okay. I wrote out a script for this, but it's not organized at all. Okay, so let me organize this. Let me organize this real quick. I probably should have organized it before. Fuck, dude. All right. I can just organize it on stream. So, you guys won't be bored. Just gonna make a quick Google Doc and then just, oh my god. Just gonna put the notes there. All right, all the bullet points. Okay, so that's the start. And we got dueling shit. Okay, okay, this is a start. This is D for duel. D for duel. D for duels. I'm organizing everything for duels, practicing, and then I'm trying to think of other categories. Dueling shit. Then we'll go into practicing. Then we'll go into. So this is P for practice. This is the start. P for practice. D for duel. I'm going to go through all these things. General. So that's going to be some general stuff. General tips. This is for P for practice. This is for general. D for duel. 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 Practice. Almost done. Give me like literally 20 more seconds. Duel / P. General tip. And then general tip. E for practice. E for duel. Okay. Everything is organized, okay? Everything is organized. So I'm going to go through this list. I'm going to teach you everything I've learned recently about aiming. I have been like, damn, this game is loud. I have been treating aim like how I've been treating like building a team and strat book and stuff, and just like, I used to like just grind the fuck out of demos and learn nades, and I you know, like when I was building, like when I was like focusing on my IGLing skills, I was like going crazy in demos, taking notes, constantly like memorizing the stuff, quizzing myself all along those lines, like everything, just going crazy on the research, okay, when it came to demos. And now recently with CS2 being announced, I'm like, okay, there's no point in even like furthering my skills within CSGO, learning new nades or team stuff. It's time to like focus on individual skill, because that will transfer over to the new game. And so I've been going crazy on just learning how to win fights, okay? Because I've always been really good at aiming and Kovacs and having like really good scores, but I would just lose fights. And I figured out how to transfer that shit over. So if this applies to you, you got good Kovac scores, or if you got good aimbot, like you're crazy in aimbots, crazy in DM, but you just can't kill people in game, I'm going to teach you how to kill people in game, okay? And if you watch the pug I just did just like a second ago, it may have not looked like it, but I did get some good clips. I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key like, I was kind of nervous because I haven't streamed in a while. So I was like low-key in my own head. So don't let that make you think that I'm not good, okay? I was just in my own head. But I did get some clips. Okay, so look at. So starting off, let me actually show you the video. I haven't watched the video, but I saw this guy make this whole Twitter thread. About this shit, okay? What the fuck is it? Is it this? Is this guy? Okay, he renamed the title of this video, and I guess he redid the thumbnail. This originally was called Game Sense is for the Weak. It says Game Sense is making you worse, but he made this whole Twitter thread. Check out this video if you want to see all his points. But pretty much what I'm borrowing from this YouTuber is the concept of learning game sense. Because I was always under the impression, having bad aim and like not being able to win fights, just like getting better as a player, that like, oh, I just need to learn more nades, learn more setups, and just like double down on game sense and just being smarter than the other player. But basically this guy had a whole Twitter thread, and he's got that whole video that explains that if you don't have good aim, you're not going to build good game sense, because essentially you're going to like not have, essentially one, you're going to rule out any 50-50 duels as like a good play, because you're not going to win that duel if you have bad aim. And so you're probably like not going to build up good game sense in that aspect when it comes to winning duels. And then the other aspect, you're not going to build up game sense fast because you're scared to like go out of your comfort zone and limit test on like what you're actually capable of. And if you want to learn faster, you need to just make a bunch of mistakes and like limit test yourself, you know, just take fights, and see what you should and shouldn't do. And so essentially, if you have bad aim and you're bad at dueling, you're going to learn to be a very passive and just like weak player when it comes to just being aggressive when needed, or like taking fights when needed. You're just going to learn to be very passive, and it's not proper way to play. That's kind of like the route I was unintentionally sent down by myself, because I just could never kill people, right? That's why I became an IGL. That's why I like queue with a bunch of friends, so I can like manipulate these things and not have to duel people to win, you know? But I realized this is a weak point of mine. I gotta fix it. So starting off, I just want to mention that, okay? Game sense is for the weak, just like what that guy previously titled his video. You need to have good aim in order to have good game sense, because good aim builds good game sense, okay? So starting off, I'm going to discuss dueling tips when it comes to getting into a duel with someone. I have listed out into 3 categories of things I want to discuss. Tips for dueling, tips for practice and then general tips for both, or just general tips, okay? Because like I said, I had really good Kovac scores, but my duels with other players would just suck. I would just always lose duels. So starting off with the dueling tips, okay? Starting off with the dueling tips is that you want to, let me get into a crossfire game mode. Yeah, let's go to overpass. These are all the notes I've been taking down as I've just been playing and just focusing on my individual skill. Any tips on mid-round playing? I can get to that in a second. I can get to that in a second. All right, this might be a little scattered because I just wrote this out at work, but tips for dueling. So starting off with tips for dueling. Okay, let me actually go to Nadar. Practice Nadar, I'll go overpass. So let me put a bot here. Just put a bot here, put a bot here. We'll just mimic something, right? I'll put a bot here. So starting off, okay? It is likely not your aim that is the issue, it is likely your movement. And what I noticed as I started taking like my aim seriously when it came to like working on it is that I would mess up counter strafes a lot in duels. Like I would over counter strafe and I have that little jiggle at the end. Like instead of stopping flat, I would like kind of do something like that, you know? That was an exaggerated version, but not having your counter strafes down like perfectly is gonna fuck up your aim. You're gonna like be on their head and just not hit the shot because you're still moving and you won't be accurate. So starting off, that's like the first thing. Get your counter strafes down. It seems like such a simple thing, but I was still even making a mistake, what, 7,000 hours in the game? So make sure you get that shit down, okay? Next up, when it comes to the actual duel itself, you want to vary your peaks, okay? And there's like a whole list of peaks that you can do, right? You can wide swing,
videos are about
you can jiggle peek,
beating.
you can close peek, you know, you come peek close, you can crouch peek, you can do like a jump jiggle to bait out an op shot. Let me see what else. I wrote all this shit down. And then also while you're fighting, when it comes to during the duel, you could stutter step, which is something I would never do, right? I would always just stay still during my fights. So just when it comes to dueling, just learn all the peaks and learn when to use them and just switch it up. Don't do the same thing every single time over and over. Because I would always just wide swing everything. Because I'm like, oh, I'm an entry. I'm just gonna go die. Like, it's not good when, because a lot of times you're not actually entering when it comes to like a fight in the game. Sometimes the fight is just taking just a duel. You know, you're not like entering a site. You're entering map control areas. So learn how to jiggle. Learn how to vary your peaks and play around your cover. That's like a big thing. Just playing around your cover and then varying your peaks. These kind of go hand in hand. And then just work on your movement, right? Counter strafing perfectly and stopping perfectly. And yeah, I can get into like practicing all this stuff in the future, but we'll keep on continuing with dueling tips. So next when it comes up to dueling is like, I've discussed this in the first video of aim training, but it's like learning different techniques for shooting within Counter-Strike. Obviously you have spraying. Let me turn this down. Obviously you could spray if you're like up close, you know, it's full spray. You want to probably like burst when you're like kind of medium range, and then you want to tap, and MBM method when you're like far away, right? Just tap, 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 and you just want to spam. Learn the different techniques for playing, and then practice switching between them, because you're not going to be spraying all the time. Like you shouldn't be spraying at this fight right here. You should like burst, move, right? Should be moving around. Work on your movement. So just the first tip is something like I would do a lot is like I would get into a fight and I would just crouch and then just hold my spray. You don't want to be doing that past close range, right? If you're close range, even if you're close range, you probably just don't want to crouch and spray either. If you're close range, you can commit to a spray and hold it down. You can even do like a little stutter step while you're doing it just to be like more agile, harder to hit. You want to spray when you're close range. Anything past like party, if you miss that first couple shots, move and burst again. Don't commit to sprays past medium range, past close range. You do not want to commit to sprays. All right, so this guy came out swinging. I would burst, move, move, and you're just moving around constantly. Like the duel should not be a spray at this point. And I would spray fucking everything, dude. I'd be coming out mouth, and the guy would be there, and I'd just be like trying to spray him down. I should burst, move around, burst. All right, it's all about the movement. Okay. Serial spray, dude. It was so bad. It was so bad. Okay, so now, next up, when it comes to duels, another tip I realized is when it comes to insta-flicking and just like your first reaction to a shot. When a target first pops up, this is known as like your reflexive aim when one target pops up. And what I would do a lot during a duel is just like insta-flick and then just start spraying instantly and trying to hit the guy. And this isn't wrong. It's not wrong depending on the fight itself. So if this guy popped up right here, right? I go to like peek this angle and he pops up right here. You should 100% insta-flick and then you should insta-flick this and then let your spray and your other bullets of the spray be the micro adjust, right? So when you're normally aiming, you want to flick and then micro adjust onto the target and then shoot, flick, adjust, shoot, flick, adjust, shoot. But when you're close range in game, you want to insta-flick, spray, and then let your other bullets be the micro adjust. It's all about getting off the first shot and hitting the first shot. So a mistake a lot of people make close range is that like they'll be so used to like, let's say being super accurate, flick, micro adjust, flick, micro adjust, flick, micro adjust, and they'll be close range and they'll try to do that flick, micro adjust, and then shoot. You're too slow. You're close range, just fucking insta flick. You'll likely hit the shot on the insta flick, and then let your spray be the micro adjust. Don't be trying to flick and micro adjust everything. On the flip side, don't be doing this when it comes to targets long range. You should not be insta flicking and spraying targets long range. You should be doing the technique I was talking about earlier: bursting, moving, bursting, moving. Okay, see what I'm saying? There's a time and place for everything. Close range, insta flick, spray. Let the spray be the micro adjust. Don't do that far range. So, so we'll continue. So that's a practice thing. Dueling. So another thing too is that like during your aim, right? When you're in Kovacs, like you're training like flick, shoot, flick, shoot, flick, shoot, but you never really move in a lot of scenarios. When you're in game, you want to be moving around, right? So during the long flick of your shot, right? If I was to like have to shoot the guy party, the long flick right here, I should not be standing still. You should move during your long flick and then stop for the micro adjust. It just makes yourself a harder target to hit. So a way you can practice this, if you have refrag, if you go to their crossfire game mode, this is a drill I've been doing on my own. To practice this, if someone peeks you, right? Okay, let me just die real quick. If someone peeks you, your first reaction, it should be to move and then shoot. Move, flick, and shoot. You shouldn't stand still and flick and take the shot. Like, as soon as someone peeks you, you have to do two reactions. One is to flick to them, and the other is move while you're flicking. There's no point in standing still while flicking because you're just staying still. You're stationary target. Like you're easy to hit. So might as well during that dead time of the initial flick, you should be moving, right? So let's say someone peeks me, right? Peeks me. Holy shit, that was bad. Someone peeks me, right? All right, hold on, dude. All right, hold on. I'm like in my own head right now. In my own head, because I'm filming like a video, so I'm not in like aim mode, right? So someone. Holy shit. If someone peeks you, first thing you should do is to move. And then, dude, this is a horrible map for this. Hold on. We're going to Inferno. I'm in my own head, dude. I can't be precise right now. I can't be precise. Hopefully when I edit this too, I'll show, the plan for the video, I want to show the dueling tip and then show the way to practice it. So, right? So let's say someone peeks me. This guy gonna peek. Oh shit! Fucking hell. You should move as soon as you get peeked and then shoot back. Like that should be the standard of your fucking hell, dude. I cannot perform this right now. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I'm moving on to the next tip, dude. Fuck y'all. All right, let's go. Practice Nadar. Go back to overpass. Fuck y'all, man. Wait, where's I at? What the heck? Okay, so yeah. Anyways, that's a good way to practice it if you're in Crossfire, because those guys end up peeking you as you sit in your spot. They'll peek into you. So a good training, a way to train that is just to, as soon as they peek you, move, flick, and shoot all at the same time. you should move instantly as soon as you see the target. Just instantly react with the movement, flick, and then shoot. Okay. Make yourself a harder target to hit. Don't stand still. Okay. On to the next tip. This is just like a little dual movement tip that I kind of like been working on, like a technique. A lot of times when I'm far range against the target, right? Let's say there's a target right here. When I'm far range, I'll instantly resort to like crouch spam tapping, which is not necessarily wrong, but there's low-key a better way to tap at distance if you're in a long range fight. It just makes you a really hard target to hit, but it's kind of hard to master. And it's just going back and forth like this. And this took me a couple days to actually master. Because a lot of times you'll hit the shot during the middle of the counter strafe. But if you can master this movement, it makes you way harder to hit at long range and you're just as accurate. You just want to, don't like stop. You just want to like this and shoot on each counter strafe. That's why it's kind of hard to hit, because there's like an instant to shoot on each one versus like stop, shoot, stop, shoot, stop, shoot, stop, shoot. So you're way slower. If you can learn, see, I'm still struggling with it. If you learn how to do this and master this technique and bust it out like in an instant, if someone peeks you long range, you'll be way better off in those fights because you're way harder to hit and you're just as accurate as like the crouch spam. Now, the one time I would say, if we want to get like technical, that you should, like the one time you should be like crouch spam tapping is if you're in a long range fight and the guy's like in a headshot angle, because you kind of need that extra accuracy. So you're probably better off just crouch spam tapping if you're in a long range fight against a headshot angle. But if you guys are both standing, right? If we're both in the open like this and I go to do the crouch spam, that's such an easy shot for him to hit. You're better off doing this type of tapping, which is kind of hard to master, but it'll actually, it's not that hard. It'll take you a couple of days. It only took me like 2-3 days and I'm already getting it down pretty well. So that's another tip for a dueling when you're at long range. So yeah, just like most of the tips for the dueling that I'm going to continue with is going to be all like movement based stuff. And just, you got to think about your movement as like dribbling. Like if you're basketball, like you got to have your dribbles, you got to have your moves, like between the legs, behind the back. Like you got to make it where it's like hard to get the ball from you. Same way you got to make it where it's hard for the other guy to hit his shot. And just like basketball, you have your shot, but your shot isn't your dribbles. Like they're two different things. You got your movement and then your shot. Same in CS, you got your movement and then your shot. And if you have just a good shot but bad movement, you're such an easy target to hit. Someone with bad aim is going to fuck you up like 9 times out of 10. Okay? If they have good movement. So when it comes to your movement, just when you're anytime like you're in like a, hold on, this is actually a practice thing. So I will go over that later. Okay, so another thing too that I mentioned for the dueling tip is that I guess I just wrote this as a quote, the flashiness, like when the flashiness will come naturally, okay? When you see pros and they're in a game and like some guy peeks them long and he does like the insta flick and one taps the dude, he's not doing it to be cool. He's not doing it to be flashy. He's doing it because that's the best technique for the situation, right? At long range, you want to do the insta flick and then start tapping after. So you take the gamble on the, like the MBM method that I talked about in the first video. You do the insta flick and then you start tapping after. And when pros do that, people will see that and be like, oh, I should aim like that all the time. Not true. He's just doing that because it's the best technique for the scenario given. So a lot of the times when you see like the flashy plays of like the pros who gets like a 3K where it's like tap, 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 he's not doing that to be flashy. He's doing it because that's the best technique for the fight given, right? Especially with evasive, small moving targets. You don't want to like try and line up the shot and like line up fast, or like line up and be smooth and hit the shot. You want to just tap, tap, tap and like follow him like that because you want to take the gamble. And a lot of times when you do initial flick, you should be shooting and you will hit that gamble and it will look flashy, but it's not trying to be cool. It's just that's like the best technique for the situation. So just realize a lot of times when you see pros do flashy plays, they're not doing it to be cool. They're doing it because it's the best technique. So master that technique for those certain plays. Obviously, sometimes they are trying to be cool where they'll just be like, just hit some crazy shit, but a lot of times it's just because it's the best technique for the play. Okay. So yeah, like all the insta flick stuff, best technique. Okay. Okay, some more dual stuff. Let's continue. Okay. Another thing too to do during your duels is to actually, I feel like this is more of a practice thing. This is actually more of a practice. Okay, I think I actually covered most of the dueling stuff, but just a quick general thing for dueling. A quick general thing just for dueling. I'll answer that question. Or actually, I don't actually know any KZ servers. I haven't played KZ in a fat minute. But the quick wrap up for the dueling tips when it comes to like transferring aim in the game, just know that most of the dueling is not aim in itself. Most of the dueling is not raw aim in itself. Most of the dueling is picking the right aim technique for the fight, having good complementary movement to be a hard target to hit, and then third, playing around cover. And then like just knowing when to do each reflexively, which you can be trained during Crossfire or DM or something. Just learning each of the aim techniques, each of the movement techniques, mixing and matching all of them up, whatever is necessary, playing around your cover, and just being a hard target to hit. Most of dueling is not just aim, right? Just being a hard target to hit. All right, so that's the quick general wrap up for dueling. This is why I would lose a lot of duels. It's just because I had really good aim, but horrible movement. And I was always a really easy target to hit. And I'll get into the practice stuff now, okay? We'll get into the practice shit now. So now when it comes to practicing this stuff, I'm just gonna go over some quick ways, quick general routines you can do, and I'm gonna go into like specifics on how to practice certain things, okay? So starting off with general routines you can do to improve your aim. Let me find this video. Oh, fuck. Hold on, let me see. I think Jason C sent me this forever ago. Maybe it's still in the Steam DMs. That'd be crazy if it is. No. Here we go. This video right here. This is the original guy who made the video. Look up this video if you want to get the aim routine I'm about to show you. But this is a good way to practice just in-game aim and dueling. I'll show you in a second. But this is the video that I got this from. I got this from one of Andrew's friends, Jason C. He put me onto this training method. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is the first way to practice if you don't have any money for refrag or Kovacs or anything along those lines. You could do this for practicing your duels. So you have to watch the video to be able to do this because there's a config you have to run. Let me switch teams. And you add bots to the other team. And holy fuck, this is about to get annoying so quick. These bots are extremely evasive. Let me turn off trajectories. So these bots that you play against are like extremely evasive when they peek you. Like they always like wide swing shit. And they're also extremely reactive. Like they insta shoot you when you peek. So this could help teach you how to play against peeking targets when they swing you on that corner. And also teach you how to play against evasive targets and how to tap against evasive moving targets. And you play around your cover. Another thing I feel like this helped me learn is to not overreact to... Let me turn on God mode real quick. So I'm like kind of just... Alright, these guys are being so annoying. Holy shit. Hold on. How do I get rid of these guys? Alright, get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Okay, so look at one thing that is really good at teaching you to do that I've noticed is the bots, since they react instantly, they're not necessarily super accurate, but they react instantly. And because of that, it teaches you to not freak out when you're getting shot at. It teaches you to kind of like take your time and do your own pace during the shot and not like freak out and just try and insta flick because you just got shot. which you'll notice a lot of times in game. I'll notice that as soon as I get shot, I freak the fuck out and just start spraying and hope I kill the other guy because I think I'm about to die. But if you get shot and you're not dead yet, likely you're not going to get shot in the head again because the guy's mid spray and he's going to be inaccurate. So you still have time to adjust onto their head. So it just teaches you to not overreact to getting shot at, getting shot in the body, and getting like aim punched. It gives you the confidence to like continue with whatever aim you're about to do, flick, micro adjust on the head, and still kill the guy because if he's shooting in the body, he's likely not going to shoot you in the head the next shot. He's going to have to spray you fully, and you'll have time to one tap him. So that's a good way to practice that skill in itself in this arena. Also playing around cover, like I said, holding angles, and then shooting wide strafing opponents, and also switching up your techniques on when you should spray, burst, one tap. So if you want the map, go to this video here, Cloud9 CSGO aim training tutorial. This is where I got it from. So that's the first way to practice, just generally. The next way to practice is obviously Kovacs. And when it comes to Kovacs, I know this video is about transferring Kovacs aim into in-game aim, and I will be talking about that. So a lot of times during Kovacs, you do a lot of multi-target scenarios, which is what my problem was. Hold on, let me open this up.